Welcome to the newest edition of the ScreenFellas podcast. My name is Carlos.
And my name is Ozzy.
In this episode, we'll be discussing the upcoming fall TV season for 2018. Enjoy the show.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
And here we go.
All right, Ozzy, how you doing?
I am doing good, man. How you doing?
I am doing all right. I am just looking forward to talking about some TV here. To be honest, you know how, at the end of last year, or not the end of last year, the end of last TV season, right? Around the May-ish area, April, May, when all the shows were ending, everything was coming to a close. I was like, I am so behind on everything. And I'm hoping that this summer I'll be able to catch up. I believe I definitely said something like that along those lines.
You really did.
I still have not caught up. I moved this summer. I did not have any time to do anything. So, yeah, I am still behind on the majority of these shows. Surprisingly, almost unbelievably, the only thing I fully caught up on that I was behind on at the time. Do you know what it was, Ozzy? As you're playing Fortnite in the background that I can hear.
What is it? What did you not catch up on?
No, the only thing I did catch up on.
What you probably caught? Let me see.
You know, because I talked about it on the show. I think
you caught up on. What did you catch up on?
Arrow.
Did you catch up on?
Arrow was the only show that I was behind on that I caught up on. And it was because it was towards the beginning of the summer, and I was like, all right, I'm going to bang through these shows. So it's like, all right, let's start with the CW, because that was going to take the longest. So I just went on the CW app, and Arrow, because it starts with A, is the first thing there. So I was like, all right, we'll start it with Arrow. And I started with Arrow, finished Arrow, and yeah, that's pretty much the only thing I caught up on because I ran out of time.
How did you think about Arrow?
Well, I think we already talked about it, but I was rather disappointed, to say the least.
I think we were all disappointed.
Yeah.
I think we were all disappointed.
But yeah,
compared to season 5, season 6 was.
It was a letdown.
It was season 4 again.
Yeah,
And,
it was rough. All right,
yeah.
But so needless to say, I think we're going to keep this pretty loose here. We're kind of just going to jump around here, talk about some of the shows we're looking forward to starting back up. And then I'm going to ask you, because you're behind on some things too. Like you kind of, well, not behind, but you fell off a lot of shows. Like you're not watching The Walking Dead anymore. I'm not not watching The Walking Dead. It's just another show that I'm behind on. But I want you, because you are caught up with the CW shows. So that's the one area where you can tell me, what should I, and this is where we want to start. What should I catch up on? And are there any of these shows that you think, because I know there's people who do this. There are people who kind of fall off shows, and then once it starts back up, they're like, all right, I'll just start it again here. And they don't bother catching up. I've never been one of those people, but I'm so behind on all of these shows that I'm really tempted. So are there any of these shows that you think I don't really need to watch the end of the past season, just start it with the new season and it'll be fine? And then which one should I go back and watch the episodes that I missed?
Okay, well, for me, I think you should totally watch Legends. I think for me, season 3 is my favorite episode of Legends, just due to the fact that, you could tell these people had a ton of fun just shooting these scenes. And like I said, these are some of the best episodes I've seen in Legends in the entirety of the show. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if this is one of the shows you didn't catch up on, but for me, this is the best season of Legends, and that's why I think you need to rewatch. I think you need to catch up on that show in particular. I think you can start Supernatural again.
That's the one that I started to catch up on after Arrow, but I didn't have time to finish.
I think that's pretty much the one that you can kind of leave behind, honestly. They're kind of, what Supernatural kind of did is, and you saw it for the most part, is they kind of took the concept of what the Arrowverse has done and create a multiverse in the Arrow universe. And I guess that just made them realize that, hey, we can actually do these stories that we never did. We can finally do what if stories due to the fact that we have a multiverse.
Yeah.
So they're basically, and spoiler alert, I'm sorry, But I mean, what the ending of Arrow is basically going to be it's going to be a what if storyline, I believe, for season, what is it, 14, 15 now, and it's just going to be one of the, it's just a what if story that came true, and it's I don't believe you need to be there for it. I mean, there are some satisfying moments in there that I think you can watch, but I mean, overall, it's you don't. I would be fine if I didn't watch all of Supernatural and came back. Like, I would be fine.
Okay, interesting. So Legends is the one that I should put time into. Supernatural, I can just jump into this season and be fine. Got it.
Yeah, because first of all, Supernatural always goes through rewind. It always summarizes what happened last
That's
season,
true.
anyways.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be fine. And you don't need to watch all of the entirety of that to catch up. I feel like you just need to watch the important scenes, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to watch each and every episode, because a lot of the CW shows seasons also have a bunch of filler.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like this is one that you need to watch.
That's true. Okay. Fair enough. What shows are you looking forward to for this upcoming season? I think there's some big ones that we're both going to agree on here.
I'm definitely looking for my number one show is This Is Us. That's the show.
That's the first one I knew you were going to say.
Yeah, I mean, This Is Us. I mean, I love This Is Us, and it's just so funny how
most of America does.
I just think it was so funny how I didn't even know it existed, and then on this podcast, I was like, I'm not gonna watch it, and then I ended up watching it, then I ended up falling in love with it. But that's the show I'm looking forward to. Yeah. I miss the Pearsons, guys. I can't. So I miss the Pearsons. That's the show I'm honestly looking forward to the most. Looking forward to the most. I can say the show I'm looking forward to the least is probably Supernatural, because it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where we're gonna go. Like, it's just like, when are they gonna end the show? Like, when are we gonna just? When is Sam and Dean just gonna get their ending? Like, it's super cool that they brought some of these characters back and everything. Which I think is super cool. But at the end of the day, it's just like, okay, like, this isn't, like, come on, we can end it. Like, it's fine. So I'm just trying to just see what's going to happen this season, and if this season can be as good as the previous seasons.
Yeah. All right. What I'm looking forward to is, I mean, I guess the thing that I'm most looking forward to is probably Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I wanted to save this for when we kind of tell each other what shows we should get into. But Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you still haven't watched this, correct?
No.
Okay. This show it's gotten progressively better, and it's really incredible how it has. And I am just so happy, and just genuinely happy by the amount of love that the show got in its brief cancellation. And it makes me happy because now I know that the people who make the show are aware how much their show is loved. And like, I'm so obsessed with the show. I literally watched the entire Comic-Con panel for the show online. Like, it's just, and there's so many great moments even in that panel where, like, there was a girl who walked up and asked a question, but before she started a question, she specifically called out the two girls who play female cops on the show, and they're both Hispanic. And she said, I am just so happy and thankful that we have not one, but two strong Latina women represented on TV in this amazing, hilarious show. And they literally, like, those two girls started crying, and you have Terry Crews sitting there just, like, pointing to them, just cheering them on, and it was just incredible. This show brings a lot of happiness to a lot of people. It is hilarious. It is heartwarming. It's everything you would want in a sitcom. It's really, really good. And if you don't watch this show, and you didn't start this show even when the craze was happening, when it got canceled, and it really is incredible just to think about the fact that this show, like, it got more popular in its moments of cancellation. Like, people started spreading love about the show, and now more and more people are watching the show. And I'm telling you, calling it right now, their numbers are going to be the best that they ever were on a new network, which is insane. That doesn't happen. Normally, you will lose numbers going to a different network, but I'm telling you right now, they're going to get better numbers going to a different network because more people started watching the show. So that's one I'm really looking forward to in terms of a show coming back. But yeah, are there any new shows that you're aware of that you're looking forward to starting, or not really, or you just don't know about them yet?
I don't know about any shows coming out this fall yet. Nothing that really gravitates me. There hasn't been anything in TV that honestly gravitates me, that really wants to make me start a TV show. I've usually just found TV shows just because, there's nothing on TV.
What about Netflix
And
ones?
nothing. There's nothing on Netflix. There'll be trailers for shows on Netflix, but there's nothing that comes out that I'm saying, like, man, I can't wait to see to get into the show.
Yeah.
There's nothing. For some reason, TV trailers do not intrigue me as much as film trailers. I don't know why.
Were you an Avatar: The Last Airbender guy?
I was.
Okay. Are you looking forward to that animated show on Netflix that's from the creators of Avatar?
I'm interested in it, but I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna watch it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get into it. There's a couple of movies that I actually do want to get started on catching up on.
Yeah.
Older films I want to get started on catching up on. So I don't know if I'm gonna get into that show, but I do still want to. There's still some shows that I want to look more into just because I'm at least intrigued by the idea, but just so I can at least see if I'm gonna give it a shot or not.
I will say one new show, and this is a little bit of a cheat, okay? It's not technically a new show. Not technically. But it's an anthology show with a new season, so it's basically a new show, okay? So it's a cheat. I get it. And if you want to call me on it, that's fine. But True Detective Season 3. Have you seen the trailer for True Detective Season 3?
I haven't even seen any True Detective season, but I did not see the True Detective trailer
Okay.
for Season 3.
All right. I know you were talking about how you want to catch up on movies that you missed, like older movies. I beg of you, if you watch anything, you can, I would put this, you just heard me go on a huge soliloquy about Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but you can push Brooklyn Nine-Nine to the side and watch True Detective Season 1. I've said this, I'm not exaggerating, and I've said this for 3 years now, at least. True Detective Season 1 is the greatest single season of television I have ever laid eyes on. Season 2 is a massive disappointment, but it's an anthology show, so it doesn't matter. Season 1 with Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey is the greatest single season of television that I've ever seen. Despite the disappointment that was Season 2, I am very excited for Season 3 because that trailer is insane. And when I tell you who's the star of it, have you seen a poster for it? Do you know who's the star of this season?
I know it's Mahershala Ali.
Yes. Mahershala Ali is starring in the show, and it looks like it looks like they're going back to their roots. It very much reminds me of Season 1. It looks like it's going to take place in a couple different time periods about probably the same case. And it looks like it's going to be about how he is trying to solve this case, and maybe he's dealing with some sort of mental disorder at the same time, and he's sort of losing his mind. And then, kind of based on the trailer, I'm thinking maybe we're going to be getting this from his perspective way down the line when he's way older. It just looks so good. I cannot wait for this season of True Detective. If you haven't seen True Detective, watch it. It's for the first season. Don't bother with second season. But I can't wait for Season 3. So that's a new show, quote unquote, that I'm looking forward to. Another one that I'm looking forward to is a Netflix one. And I can't remember. I know I convinced a lot of people to watch this last year, but I can't remember if you were one of them. I know my brother watched it. I know Kendrick watched it. I know I convinced Jack to watch it recently. Did you watch American Vandal?
I did watch American Vandal.
Okay. Have you seen the trailer for Season 2?
No, I have not seen the trailer for Season 2.
It looks so good. The trailer for Season 2 of American Vandal. Look, Netflix, they're doing their thing right now, and I mean, look, the question was always, how do they follow up Season 1 of American Vandal? Because if you haven't seen that, I mean, it's hilarious. If you don't know what it's about, it's about this school where a mysterious genitalia were spray painted on teachers' cars. And it's shot like it's a true crime documentary thing by a student. And they take it extremely seriously in a very comedic way it's just hilarious. This season, it looks like it's the same student who's filming it, but it's a completely different like mystery. And this season is going to be about at a school where somebody like poisoned all the students somehow, and they all started crapping their pants all at the same time around the school. And it's so stupid. It looks amazing.
I gotta see it.
You gotta watch it. If you haven't seen this trailer, you have to watch it. And if you haven't seen American Vandal, and that sounds like your kind of humor, then you have to watch this show. Because I can't wait for the season of American Vandal. Oh my gosh, I'm just dying laughing just thinking about this show. I can't wait for it to come back. Jeez. So yeah, and this brings me to basically my plan for the year, for this year in TV. And I'll let you kind of talk about more shows that you're looking forward to, or things that you're on. One thing I do want to get from you is things that you're on the verge of dropping. Like I want to get shows from you that if it doesn't have a good first couple episodes, you're gonna just leave. But before we get there, I do want to talk about like how I'm going to approach this year, because I don't think we're not going to do any formal TV recaps. I think we'll kind of save any sort of TV talk for probably recommendations. Like if we're really loving a show, we'll talk about it in recommendations and we'll get into it. Or if it's like some big event thing. And that kind of gets to the core of what I'm planning on doing. To be honest, there's a lot of these even CW shows that because you told me, I'm going to catch up on Legends of Tomorrow. I'll probably keep watching Supernatural. Arrow, maybe. I don't know. This last season was so disappointing to me. Beyond that, I mean, Black Lightning's good. There's certainly shows that I will do my best to keep up on, but I'm not going to put as much stress on myself in regards to TV that I have been. This Is Us, I'll keep up on that. There's certainly shows I will. But I'm going to save my TV watching time for big event TV shows. That's just what I'm going to do. There's been way too many years where we get to the end of the year, we get to Emmy time, all of these shows are being nominated, and I haven't seen any of them. Why haven't I seen any of them? Because I'm spending all of my TV watching time watching CW shows. That's the bottom line. And it drives me insane. I hate that I haven't watched Big Little Lies, a show that was critically acclaimed, that's having a season 2 coming out, and I haven't watched it yet. I hate that I haven't seen any of The Handmaid's Tale. It drives me insane. Sharp Objects was an HBO limited series that starred Amy Adams. That has me written all over it. Did I watch any of it? No. It drives me crazy. So I'm going to cut back on some of the regular shows that I'm going to be watching and just focusing on these event-type TV shows, Netflix shows, these things that all come out all at once, obviously Stranger Things, when we do get a season 3 to that, like, we're going to be all in on that.
Yeah, of course.
I hate missing out on these things because every time there's a big show on, and I'm like, man, we should review that, and we don't have any time to. It drives me crazy because you know what I think of, Ozzy? I think of when we reviewed Stranger Things season 1. We reviewed Stranger Things the week after it came out. The week after it came out. We didn't jump on this hype train. It's not like, oh, Stranger Things is huge, we should watch it. We watched it because it looked good, and I was like, Ozzy, this looks good, we should watch it. We watched it, we reviewed it, and then the show exploded. We were ahead of the game. I want to be doing that. And we can't do that if we're taking way too much time watching these CW shows that, that's just why I'm going to be approaching this TV year a little bit differently. I don't know about you, but that's how I'm going to do it, Ozzy. But yeah, but now that I've ranted a little bit, Ozzy, what are give me a show or two that you're really close to dropping.
I'm 100% close to dropping The Flash. The Flash ain't good this season. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
It's over. It's not looking good for The Flash. The shows I've dropped so far, I've dropped Blacklist. Blacklist is not where we used to be. And, and now I'm hearing that Raymond Reddington isn't Raymond Reddington. What?
Wait, that's a thing?
That's a thing. That is a thing, that he is not Raymond Reddington. That he killed the real Raymond Reddington and took his identity. Something like that along those lines. Correct me if I'm wrong. I do apologize there. Yeah, I had to drop that show. I was like, this is the same. Like, the show's not getting better at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting worse in quality. And let me go ahead and see if there's anything else I might drop. I think that's it, honestly. Just Flash,
and you already dropped Blacklist. Interesting. Yeah, like Blacklist is a show that I just kind of.
I think
fell
after
off.
I think after episode 4 or 5, I was like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't. I just stopped. You mean to go back to it, but then every time I had I felt like I had to go back to it, I was dreading going back to it.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh.
Yeah, it really was like one of those things where I just kind of fell off. I kept being like, oh, I'll catch up with it. And I never did, and I don't really miss it. And there's certainly shows that happens where you fall off and you're like, man, I really need to get back to that. And you do, but sometimes you just don't, and it's not a bad thing sometimes. I mean, it's not. You're kind of weeding out the shows that don't really matter as much to you. And that's can be a pretty good thing sometimes. There's other Netflix shows I'm looking forward to. Mindhunter Season 2 should be coming out this year. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I'm going to keep up with that.
You surprised me because I kind of fell off of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I need to catch up. But, yeah, I kind of fell off of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I need to get back to that. I'm actually interested in Iron Fist Season 2.
Really?
It actually looks good to me, the story.
All right.
I don't know why, but...
That's another one. We never reviewed Luke Cage Season 2.
I never watched Luke Cage Season 2 because I was still disappointed.
I didn't either.
I was just still disappointed after Jessica Jones too.
Yeah, I know.
Season
that was
2.
Such a letdown. Did you ever watch... I don't think you ever watched... Punisher, which is shocking to me. I thought you would be the first in line. I thought you would be pushing me to review that show, but it ended up being the opposite, where I watched it, you didn't, and I was like, hey, when are we going to review this? And then we never did. And I was like, really? I thought Ozzy would be the one pushing me to review the show.
If I'm gonna be honest, these kind of shows, I mean, people think that I like these kind of shows. I mean, I remember when you tried to bring me into Narcos, I mean, that kind of show is just not my kind of thing. Where it's just all legit talking guns. It's somebody who, it's just all out gun and drug war. That's not what I'm into. I don't know why. I can't get into it. I can't get into those movies.
Sometimes your TV taste is hard to pin down.
I know it is, and I get frustrated with myself because I'll sit at the same time. I'll sit there and I'll watch a spy movie. So it's just I get mad at myself because I'm just like, damn, I can handle that, but I can't handle this. So it's just what is it?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, so I remember for Narcos, I did not want to watch Narcos. Mm-hmm. I was like, it's fine if it's good. I just don't want to watch it. And you're like, dude, and I was like, all right. I ended up loving it.
Yeah.
But for Punisher, I was like, I don't know. I thought he was a good character. I didn't know, and I don't even know if I was
excited. It was a solid season. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I need to see it, of course, but I just thought, for me, I thought he was a really interesting character. I thought he had an interesting dynamic. For me, though, I don't know. I don't even know if I was feeling it. Maybe I was. I just don't remember. But looking at it now, even if I was, I just don't know how interested I'd be in a character that was just an assassin who's going after again, I can't talk because I haven't seen the season, but the season trailers just weren't interesting me enough. But I do want to see it due to the fact that I need to pull up the actor's name. But
John Bernthal.
John Bernthal, yeah, he's there, and I the first time I saw him was in The Walking Dead, and I loved him on The Walking Dead, so I do want to see it for him. But again, I don't know.
I will say it's not just a revenge. I thought it was going to be a revenge porn, essentially, him just going after the people who killed his family, and that was going to be the whole show. it's not really. I mean, that's certainly an element, like obviously, but there is a more personal and relatable side to the show that I appreciated. And it's not the greatest thing that Netflix has ever put out in this, even in the MCU, but it's certainly worth watching. More so than Jessica Jones season 2 or Luke Cage or Iron Fist. So really, when I look at all these shows that I'm like, oh, I can't wait for that, most of them are HBO shows, which I think speaks to the level of quality that HBO puts out. Did you see the trailer for the HBO trailer that they put out? Like, they put out everything that's coming out this coming TV season.
No, I didn't.
They posted it, and I knew that people were going to be mad because they posted it all over like every Facebook page for the shows that they watch. Well, you know what that means. They put it on the Game of Thrones page as well. And what is everyone going to think as soon as a Game of Thrones posts a video that starts with the HBO logo? It's a trailer. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, it's a trailer. We're getting a trailer for season 8. Well, no, it wasn't. It was a trailer for everything HBO is doing this season. And I knew people were going to be mad. And I think they were, because it's like, really? That's such a tease. And there was a little teeny tiny bit of footage from Game of Thrones season 8, but it's not much. It's literally just, I think it's Jon and Sansa hugging. But it really, I mean, it did its job in terms of a trailer, because I'm really looking forward to everything HBO is doing this year. The Deuce season 2 is coming out this year. I can't wait for that because season 1 was great. Interestingly enough, they're doing a little bit of a time jump in the Deuce, which is interesting. Veep, I'm happy Veep is back. Veep took a break last year because Julia Louis-Dreyfus had cancer, but she is back and Veep is back, and I can't wait. That show, I know a lot of argument is over what's better, Veep or Silicon Valley. I personally believe Veep is better. Veep is kind of like The Office and Parks and Rec combined, but rated R. That's the best way I can describe it. I really love Veep. And not to say that it's in a documentary style. It's not that style at all. But it's just that kind of humor, but rated R. It's a very good show. But yeah, Atlanta, I'm looking forward to that coming back. Any other shows that you're looking forward to coming back, Ozzy?
No, not really. Honestly, yeah. I mean, not really. I mean, honestly, I was telling Carlos about this earlier. I mean, this summer, I don't know about you, Carlos, but this summer for me felt very extremely long for me, just due to the fact that there has been so much going on.
Long and busy.
You guys can obviously tell because there wasn't a lot of content coming out, but we just had a lot of stuff coming our way. And I totally forgot about like half the TV shows I watch. So I mean, there's just nothing.
Well, are you taking my, because you just heard my plan for this season. Are you taking my approach where you're just kind of limiting the TV you're watching, or are you looking for things to replace the shows that you're letting fall off?
I might be looking for replacements, just to see what I can come up with. But I mean, I'm up for anything. I mean, I gotta see where my heart's at.
Any of the shows I talk about interest you?
I'm going to look at the True Detective Season 3. And also look into Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
So good. There you go. Yeah, I think... I mean, we can talk... The other thing I kind of wanted to bring up was, because this is TV related and it's just entertainment industry related, I think we got to talk about these streaming services, because the DC streaming services... Is that supposed to come out this year? I believe it is, right?
I believe so.
Are you planning on giving that show a chance? No? You're not going to watch Titans?
No, I'm not watching the Titans.
I am going to wait for reviews. I'm taking the same approach that I took for the new Star Trek show, which had a paywall. If the reviews are out of the park, I will watch it. The reviews were middling for that, so I'm not going to watch it because there's a huge paywall, or not a huge paywall, but there's a paywall. So why would I spend money to watch a show that's getting middling reviews? That was my approach. And that's the same thing I'm going to do for DC. The only thing that might tempt me is if I finally watch Young Justice and I really love it as much as everyone says I will, and then I might get the streaming service just so I can watch Young Justice, the new season.
It's only going to be on the streaming service?
I believe so. I could be wrong, but I believe so.
I'm still gonna get the streaming service.
You're gonna pirate it? Don't say you will. Don't say it.
I'm not going to.
Wink, wink.
Listen. I've wanted season 3 for a very long time, but just for one show to get the streaming service is just not worth it.
Yeah. Fair enough. And then the other one is Disney. The Disney streaming service is interesting because they're going to have so much content available on there. On top of the original stuff that they're going to be doing, I won't be surprised if we get a Marvel show on there. And obviously, I'm going to be there for Star Wars, Clone Wars coming back. On top of the fact that there's going to be a live-action Star Wars show on there, but we don't know when. So those are things that I'm definitely looking forward to. Disney streaming service is coming out at the end of this year, I believe. Are you planning on getting that streaming service?
Maybe.
I feel like you've told me you've watched at least part of Clone Wars. Is that true? Or am I making that up?
I watched the first couple episodes of Clone Wars.
Okay. So that doesn't necessarily interest you, but if they announce like a live action Marvel show, like an exclusive show, are you in?
I don't think so.
No, really.
Mm-mm. Listen, I love Marvel and I love what they're doing. I just don't know. For me, it's just like they're expanding the universe, excuse me, a little bit too much to a degree. With TV, like half of the universe is gone. Half of it. Half of the universe is gone. Like, everybody needs to be a part of this. Like, what do you mean? Like, I need to know, like, I want to see what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to do. Next season, they're going to say half the people are gone, but we have to deal with Hydra. What? That doesn't, like, it just seems like they're, I like the fact that it's all connecting and it's all of connective tissue, but, I mean, realistically, these characters would be involved with one another, I feel like. And, yeah, so for me, another Marvel show isn't going to necessarily get me interested. It's not going to get me invested in watching it.
Yeah, that has been a big sticking point with you, and there definitely is like a switch in the brain that you need to have where you need to like. I understand that logically, yes, these characters would interconnect and they would be they would interact with each other. But logistically, it's just never going to happen. And I know if that's something that you can't get over, I get it. So, fair enough. But yeah, I definitely understand that. So, fair enough. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. I'm sure there's tons of shows. I watched a lot of TV last year. Like I said, I'm going to be cutting it back a little bit, hopefully, and watching some of this event stuff. And because, like I said, I'm just tired of seeing everyone talking about a show on Twitter, and then I'm just like, I don't have time to watch it. And then I just never get around to it. It's driving me crazy. And a lot of the times it happens to be HBO shows because HBO is, one thing that they're great at is putting out event television. They have mastered it as a craft. You would think that Netflix would be like right there, and they certainly do when they want to push something, they do. But a lot of the times Netflix just kind of releases stuff and doesn't put any fanfare into it, whereas HBO does an incredible job of building it up. When they're releasing a show, they're releasing a show and you're excited about it. HBO has mastered event television, and I want to keep up with HBO this year. That's going to be my biggest goal. But there's certainly other networks that have event shows as well. So I'm just really looking forward to keeping up with that in terms of TV this year. But yeah, anything else, or do you want to kind of wrap it up here? This is definitely going to be a shorter episode. Sorry about that, but hey, we just want to talk a little bit about TV. Anything else, Ozzy?
No, man, I think that's it for me, man. Honestly, this TV season is not my biggest season. It's just not for the same reason, but there are shows that I'm definitely interested in getting into, and I might do a little bit more binging towards the end of the year. So we got to see.
Fair enough. All right. Yeah. So a little bit of housekeeping before we go. Bear with us this month because, this is not an our fault thing. Look, we're going to be going into September. September, the biggest movie coming out is Predator by a long shot. I mean, The Nun, sure, The Nun's coming out too. Predator and The Nun. That's basically all we're getting this month. Beyond that, it's just a bunch of stuff. There might be some stuff in here that surprises us, but that's the thing. you got to listen. Please listen to the podcast, even if it doesn't have a big name movie listed on it. Please share the podcast. You know, like we put a lot of work into these. We watch all these movies so you don't have to, but you got to listen to the episodes, even if it's not the big movies. Just saying. We're going into a rough month in terms of the movie schedule. Don't make it a rough month to the podcast. That's my request to the listeners.
Yeah, I'm going through this September, the month of, it's like literally January in the middle of the year.
Yeah, it's never pretty. And this year, it might be the worst it's been in a while. Like, it is, it's barren. There's not much there.
Like, I'm honestly about to cry looking at it.
And we're going to review them. That's the thing.
Okay. The House Clock Walls with Jack Black and
Sure.
Kate Blanchett. I mean, it doesn't look amazing, but damn, it's good to see some light with Jack Black and Kate Blanchett.
You know it's rough when we're like, yes, a Jack Black movie.
Smaller movie with Keira Knightley. Colette is coming out. This has 100% Rotten Tomatoes so far.
You'll get that. That's the thing. Like, I won't get half these movies that are small and actually good in this month.
Life Itself actually comes out this towards the end of the month.
You'll get it. I'll have to drive to Charlottesville to see that.
I do apologize. And Night School for you, Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish fans.
Sure.
I'm actually really not looking forward to this movie, and I know that this was the same director of Girls Trip. It's just this movie, if I'm going to be quite honest with you, doesn't look good. And let's see here, what else we have here? Still going over September. And I believe that is it.
Yeah.
Oh, Little Women. For you Little Women fans, it comes out September 28th.
Sure.
And
Okay.
that is it.
Look, that's the thing. And the thing is, like I said, you won't be seeing these movies most likely. A lot of these you're not going to see. And fair enough. I understand. But we will. We're going to tell you if they're worth spending your money on. But the thing is, you got to listen to find out. That's what I'm saying. That's my point. I understand that when the Meg comes out, you really want to hear what we think about the Meg because it's a big movie. It made tons of money. But sometimes there's these random September movies that come here. We have to say too. That's all I'm saying.
Are we gonna?
That's all I'm saying. Like,
Is there gonna
we
be a
won't
Meg
skip
sequel?
them, so you shouldn't skip us.
Is there gonna be a Meg sequel?
I mean, we're getting into that territory. That's the thing. Like, one thing I do want to eventually start doing on the podcast more is talking more box office because, I mean, there's a lot of nuggets for recent movies that are kind of interesting. Like, The Meg has made a lot of money domestically. Like, we're getting really close to, I mean, they'd be crazy not to make a sequel territory. So I think we will get a Meg sequel. Another interesting thing is if you look at box office stuff, traditionally, movies drop anywhere from 40 to 60% their second weekend. Like, they'll make $100 million, and then the next weekend, they'll make $40 million, right? And that's about average. 40 to 60, anywhere in there, that's around what you'll drop. You want to know how much Crazy Rich Asians dropped from its first to second weekend?
How much?
I believe it was something like 5%.
That's extremely low.
That is insane. That's unheard of. Like, this movie, it might not make, it's not going to make like $90 million every week, but it could make like $40 million, $40 million, $40 million, $40 million. Like, that adds up. Like, this movie's making bank just off, like, not dropping anything. Like, it's insane. And that's a movie, like, I know you didn't end up watching that movie, Ozzy, but I beg you, please go check that out because I want to talk about it with you. I really enjoyed that movie. And I think we could be talking about that with Best Adapted Screenplay at the end of the year. So, yeah, there's tons of interesting box office stuff as of late that I think we should talk a little bit of box office more on the podcast in coming weeks. So, hey, if you're interested in box office and numbers, then that's another reason to listen to the podcast, I guess.
Sorry about that.
You want to wrap us up, Ozzy?
Yeah, man. Where can people find you on social media?
All right, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Cheery456, and make sure you follow us all over social media, all at ScreenFellas. It's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the YouTube channel. Check it all out. Not much going on the website right now. Like we said last week, Brianna is super busy, but we might put some stuff up here and there, so keep your eye on that as well. ScreenFellas.com.
ScreenFellas.com, guys. ScreenFellas.com. You guys can find me on Twitter at CastroAuzzy, and you guys can also find me on my email, ozzy.castro@screenfellas.com. You guys can email me there if you guys have any recommendations, any movie recommendations, but definitely shoot me out some TV recommendations there. I got to take a challenge up with Chucky. I have to watch Black Lightning, which I will be starting soon. So check it out. Guys, we hope you enjoyed the show. Please feel free to listen and subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, or SoundCloud. Please rate and review the podcast on iTunes and Google Play. Also, check out the YouTube channel. If anything's not posted yet, you can 100% blame Enrique. We'll post this stuff up on Twitter, and I probably will. I'll just add him, and you can get his Twitter on there and just curse him out.
Yeah.
Girls go crazy. Guys, this is ScreenFellas.